100,000 billion bacteria live in our digestive tube. There are 1,000 times more bacteria inside each one of us than stars in our galaxy. This microcosmos within a macrocosmos is the most concentrated ecosystem on the planet. There are 100 times more bacteria in our gut than cells in our whole body.
I'm a human being. My cells come from the egg. That was the result of the fertilization of the ovum of my mother by the spermatozoa of my father. All those cells that proliferated have made up my body. Until not very long ago, I thought that was me. But then I discovered that was not so. In fact, that's just a little part of me. There's an enormous part of me that's made up of microscopic bacteria. I am, in fact, an ecosystem.
We are more bacteria than we are human. We have many more bacterial cells on our bodies, in our bodies, than we have human cells. We have more bacterial DNA than we have human DNA. So we are like passengers inside a bacterial bus, if you will.
At McMaster University in Hamilton, Canada, Stephen Collins is seeking to understand the functioning of this organized ecosystem that researchers now call microbiota.
We each carry 1 to 2 kilos of bacteria inside us. They generate about 30% of our caloric intake because a lot of the food that we eat we cannot digest, but the bacteria can digest it for us, and we take the energy.
We offer the bacteria board and lodging, and in exchange, they convert our food into energy. They help us determine what is and isn't toxic for our body. Without bacteria, survival would be difficult.
The immune system in your gut, which is the biggest immune system in the body, is educated by what the bacteria inform it, tell it. So the exposure to lots and lots of bacteria keeps the immune system alert.
Inside the mother's womb, the baby lives in a sterile environment, but starting from the first day of his or her life, he or she will be colonized by hundreds of billions of microbes. The first bacteria to settle inside the intestine will select the newly arriving bacteria until things stabilize, making up a personal signature like a sort of fingerprint. To find the recipe of the ideal microbiota, it is first necessary to know which bacteria it contains. At the National Institute of Agronomic Research in France, Dusko Ehrlich endeavors to shed light on the mysterious population that has lived inside us ever since Eve bit into the apple of knowledge. In order to do so, he has decided to study the genome of our entire microbiota. That's right, study the genome of an organism made up of 100,000 billion bacteria. This discrete project, called Program MetaHit, is a great deal more ambitious than decoding the human genome. In order to modify human intestinal flora, we have two tools: antibiotics to kill bad bacteria and probiotics to develop good ones. Probiotics are yeast and live bacteria that are supposedly beneficial for health. They can be found in yogurts, for example.